Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NBA Bit. It is a Thirsty Thursday. Wow. We had a good one. We got to update the regular season Randle drop because it's postseason Randle time. All right. I can't believe it. Here we are. Julius Randle out here being one of like the three most important people on the floor last night. We got 2 basketball games to talk about today, and then we got 2 more games to talk about heading into tonight. Maybe we do a little second round preview since we've got a couple of those or a matchup set. We can talk about that. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Before we get going, though, hey, if you missed our episode of the 89 Cavs, that went live yesterday. So go check that out. We had a lot of fun goofing. Did a lot of fun goofing. Go check that out. Who do we got in the chat before we get going? Also, if you're watching on x.com, the Twitterverse, come on over to YouTube's. We got Sneeps up in here. Good to see you. Happy National Investing Day. Thank you, Snoopaloop. Rudy Poo. Common Man's here. Stubbs is here. Matic Auto. DJP. Won the trade. Minnesota won the trade. There we go. Planted. Randall greater than signed Karl Anthony Towns. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's just get going, man. The Lakers are dead. The Lakers are dead. The Lake Show Twitter account threatened deactivation. And if I knew that was on the table, I would have been a Timberwolves fan from the jump. A lot of fun stuff. I don't know. Let me actually see if I have the clip here and we can just start with that. But man, JJ Redick got deep into his petty bag last night, and I know there was like a couple of funny things about it. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it here. But JJ, actually, I don't have it in front of me. JJ was like so mad that he was just getting questioned for his for his coaching acumen, because he played all of his guys 40 minutes or the entire second half of Game 4. And the question was basically like, are you going to rely on assistants a little bit more aggressively? And he just kind of lost it. And I love it. I'm here for that kind of petty. The petty was in full effect last night. Mark Williams was tweeting stuff, just like a smiley face after they went down after canceling the trade. Everybody put their petty on, and you love to see it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it right now. Comment said those Duke guys are so sensitive. Yeah, it's funny. We could talk about the JJ thing here a second, just because, let's look at the Lakers rotation from last night's win. Actually, no, let's not start with the Lakers. F that. Let's give Minnesota some love. It was Rudy Gobert night, huh? Rudy Gobert, look at this freaking stat line. In 39 minutes, he missed 3 shots, 12 for 15 from the field, 27 points, 24 boards, was a plus 18 out there. Just a menace. Just a menace out there. Never would have seen it. Even Shaq had to give him credit at halftime, and then he fake vomited. That was fun. Rudy Gobert, though, was a difference maker last night as he just dominated freaking everybody. And I guess part of that reason is because the Lakers were playing mostly guys my size last night. But you look at some of this stuff, and to see that Minnesota won this game on the road. Ready? Anthony Edwards, 0 for 11 from 3. 0 for 11 from 3. Finished the game with 15, 11, and 8. You got Jaden McDaniels only played 18 minutes because he was a foul king last night, fouling out of the game. Naz Reid played 21 minutes. He only had 3 points. Dante only had 9 points, 2 for 12 shooting. They shot 7 for 47 from 3. 7 for 47 from 3. For you math nerds out there, that's 14.9%. Not great, Bob. But because Rudy Gobert had 3,000 rebounds last night, they weren't getting hammered with the shooting percentage because they were getting 3 shots almost every single possession. And the Lakers, man, so their starting 5, they moved Dorian Finney-Smith into the starting lineup. Jackson Hayes got a DNP. Rui played 39 minutes, LeBron 40, Luka 40, Reeves 41. Gabe had 26, Vando 19. And then the corpse of Maxi Kleber was dragged out of the closet here to go stand at the corner to be a fake stretch 5, right? Catches the ball, and then he's like, pump fake, moves it. If you're going to be a stretch 5, you got to shoot the ball, bro. And there was a lot of, I was watching the TNT guys after the game, and they were like, hey, can we have a conversation? Why isn't Jackson Hayes playing? The tape will tell you why. I don't really know what kind of moves they had here. I think the real issue the Lakers ran into, besides roster construction, if you are going to play like this right? If you were going to play this type of small ball, like you're trying to stretch the floor a little bit, you think that's your best option, you have to be like psycho aggression. You have to be flying all over the place. You have to be crashing the boards, and they just weren't doing that. And listen, I don't want to oversimplify it and just be like rebounding is effort and effort alone. Of course, that's not the case. It helps when you have a 7'4" Rudy Gobert out there scooping up boards, but the Lakers weren't doing that. They weren't attacking. You could see it. And I honestly think part of it is like game 4 was the series for the Lakers. They knew they couldn't go down 3-1. They did not have a team that could win 3 games in a row. They knew they needed to make it a 3-game series where they would have home court advantage. So when game 4 was on the line, JJ was like, we're playing all of our guys. We have to win this game. And when they didn't win this game, dude, LeBron's 40, Luka has a body of a 40-year-old, and then it's just dudes, right? And so they knew they needed to win game 4. They had nothing left in the tank. I'm not even making excuses for them, but that is what it looked like for me, is that they just didn't seem to have that energy. Maggie Carp in the chat said, saw too much LeBron isn't one of the great type tweets last night. People need to stop watching ESPN. I know. It is like such a weird thing where they're like, the reason LeBron actually isn't good at basketball is because at age 40, after doing this for 23 years, he actually did not win the series. Like, what are we doing? Shut the fuck up. Like, you could say, we talked about this with the 89 Cavs last night or yesterday. I'm fine if you're like, hey, I don't think LeBron's the best player of all time. I don't even think LeBron's the second best player of all time. That's all fine. Don't be a dork, though. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to have the argument that he's not a top 2 player of all time, don't say dumb shit so I listen to your argument a little bit more, you know? Because the second you start doing that, all of your takes are bad. Regulators said Mark Williams has struggled against Gobert, so that would have had some benefit, but probably just marginal. Yeah, I mean, like somebody like Mark Williams, here's what I would say: having somebody that's over 7 feet tall, that's helpful. Because like you look at this rebounding, right? So they got a total of 37 boards, 8 offensive. 37 to 54. They had 54 rebounds. They had 30. No, excuse me. They had 18 offensive rebounds. They had 8 only. The Lakers had 11 more rebounds than Timberwolves had offensive rebounds. Anyways, great series win for Minnesota. I mean, to do that in 5, saw a great Anthony Edwards clip who was just kind of he did a lap around crypto, but I saw one little clip of him going like Ant-Man, Batman, Superman, Lakers in 5. I thought that was pretty good. So shout out Anthony Edwards. He again had a tough shooting night, but still impacted the game. Found another way to get involved by distributing. But man, like let's give Julius Randle some love, dude. Randle was like making pretty clutch plays down the stretch. Was like defending, man. Just like again, like look at these numbers from Julius. 8 for 16 from the field. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well from 3, but 23, 5 and 4, only 3 turnovers. And was just kind of the leading guy down the stretch. And just I don't know, man. I never would have thought I saw the day that Randall's out here making the plays. And maybe he's just got a clear understanding of what his role is. I think it speaks to, like, you talk about Anthony Edwards off the court all you want or whatever, but I think something that speaks to his leadership ability is how these guys, like even some, problematic's not the right word, but some guys who seem to have a hard time fitting in with rosters or just with vibes of locker rooms seem to be fine with Ant-Man. And I'm talking about Julius Randle. I'm talking about Rudy Gobert. I'm sure having like the steady hand of Mike Conley being like a real vet, that also helps. It's probably good locker room tutelage for Ant-Man. But he really does seem to have just like a good grasp on how to prop dudes up. I just really impressed from Anthony Edwards. I'm very excited to see whoever they play in the second round, because I do think they're going to be fresh, dude. They are going to be fresh. Like, look at these minutes, too. Randall only played 32. Nobody played over 40 minutes beside Ant-Man. So I don't know. I'm excited. Regular said Randall wanted the Knicks to be his team as he was there first. Not the case with the Wolves. Yeah, that's true, too. But, I mean, like, it was a little funky there at the beginning, but that's kind of like what happens when a trade happens right before the beginning of the season, and I think it just took a little bit of time to meld a little bit, but they've just got a clear 8 guys, right? The Randall, McDaniels, Rudy, Conley, Ant-Man for the starting 5, Naz Reid, Dante, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Like, they've got levers to press. If Mike Conley's getting cooked on defense, we're like, okay, we'll have Dante get out there, and Dante can play a little bit more athletically than Mike Conley can. We'll have Ant-Man run point, or we can throw Nickeil Alexander-Walker out there if we want to focus a little bit more on defense. And even shout out Conley, because this game like got close in the fourth quarter. It's funny because even though this game was close, it never felt like the Lakers were going to win. They even took a lead, I think, in the fourth quarter, 87-86, I think it was. But it never felt like the Lakers actually were going to win this game. But Mike Conley hit a big corner three, I think, with a couple of minutes left. That kind of sealed the deal for this one. One other thing, too, about LeBron, you could definitely tell that like those minutes were adding up a little bit. I know he played 40 last night, 1 for 5 from 3, 9 for 21 from the field. Did finish with 22, 7, and 6, but he just looked tired, and he was settling for lots of jump shots. He wasn't really attacking the rim or anything like that, and it's just when that happens, it really limits what the offense is. And we should also mention too, and I know like there should be conversations around Luka and his defense, and while Nico Harrison's out there just going. There should be conversations about Luka's defense because it wasn't great. That injury looked awful. Not awful like it was. Not awful like it was. Like an ACL tear, a Dame awful. I mean, awful like one of those times where if you play golf and you like swing funny and you're like, oh my god, I'm going to feel that for 3 days, right? That's what that looked like. The way he fell, you're just not supposed to fall like that. And that back looked like it was so uncomfy. And I couldn't believe he played. Like I thought when he went into halftime, because it was like this happened right at the end of the first half, 1 minute left to go, and he went in. I thought for sure he was cooked in the second half. And he was cooked defensively, but I was impressed he could do anything offensively in that one. Boston Base, hell yeah, brother. Thank you, man. Gifting out 10 memberships. First of the month. Let's go. Thank you, man. Thank you. Regulator said LeBron had a funny answer to the center question after the game. Yeah, I actually thought that was really funny too. LeBron, for those that didn't see it, LeBron was asked how he felt about playing center, and like would it have been helpful to have like a 5 or like a real standard 5. And he just said like he's like, I'm not gonna no comment. When AD said something a week later, he was gone. Which is just a great comment. But shout out the Timberwolves, man. I like these teams were so close in a lot of ways, or like the seedings wise, right? So I know it was a 3-6, but Minnesota like took care of work. They are a dangerous team. My best ball bags are thrilled right now with this Minnesota victory. They'll take on the winner of Golden State and Houston, and I think they'll probably be favored no matter who they play. I think. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And because of that, we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Before we get into that second game, DJP says, "Do you think it's curtains for Dames?" I know it's old news. No, I think he'll still come back. We're not seeing like peak Dame again. I don't think. Just with the type of with that type of injury, I don't think we see peak Dame again, which sucks. And we're definitely not seeing him for another year, but. Maggie Carp saying for sure they're going to be favored no matter who they face. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I don't know. I could see like the public being dumb and just saying that Golden State is better than them. So maybe that happens. Maybe it's closer than it should be since that's how they set odds, right? Is like who's going to bet on what. But Minnesota should be favored, I think. Anything else? I mean, I will have plenty of time to talk about the Lakers offseason. They need to address the center position, obviously. I guess we did kind of talk about the Jackson Hayes thing. That was something I just wanted to harp on a little bit more. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of conversation of like, was JJ an idiot for like going small? Like Alex Len was on 9 teams this year. So what were they going to do? Play Alex Len? Jackson Hayes is a backup big on like the Hornets. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? Me personally, this was their best shot at winning, but they were just too tired. They were too tired from game 4. And yeah, Gobert against Draymond would be fun as hell. Oh yeah, Stan. Warriors are 3-0 versus the Wolves with no Butler. Think again. All right, Stan. Thank you, man. Thank you, Stan. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Let's see. What else do we have? Lakers offseason will be pretty interesting, though. Yeah, I'm sure you'll hear names like Walker Kessler and Onyeka Okongwu. I don't know what kind of cap flexibility they're going to have to get somebody like that. Feel like it's probably going to be a little bit cheaper, like a cheaper big. Also, LeBron, I think, is technically off the books, right? So he's extension eligible. I was listening to the Ringer NBA show this morning while I was walking the old pup. And they seem to think that the scuttlebutt, I believe they said, around the league is that he's going to extend. So We'll have to wait and see. He's clearly still like got it. He just can't be your best player. Honestly, probably can't. I don't even know if he could be your second best player on a real title team at this point. Maybe third best though. I mean, he's straight up being an All NBA guy. Words like retired. I don't think he's retiring yet. Again, we mentioned this yesterday. There's no way LeBron retires without making a big deal out of it. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna do his full year. Like you know the same thing that Kobe did, where he got like a trophy or a present from every single arena that he played in at the end. You telling me LeBron's not going to do that? All right, let's get to that second game. That second game was weird as hell. Houston scored 131 points, man. This was nuts. They came out, scored like 76, I think, in the first half. Oh, Mathology in the chat. Good to see you. LeBron should go for 6th man of the year next year. There you go, regulator. Now, those are takes I'm looking for. Look at Amen Thompson. 8 for 12 from the field. Dylan Brooks, 7 for 13 from the field. Sengun only took 9 field goal attempts, 6 for 9. Nice. Freddie VanVleet, another good offensive performance. They had 3 starters all get over 20 points. Freddie with 26, Amen 25, 6 and 3. He also had 5 steals and 8 in 3 blocks. That's 8 stocks. Dylan Brooks had 24. Sengun almost a trippy W, 15, 9 and 9. Got like decent bench play for some of their guys. But again, like this, they outscored them by 16 in the first and then 11 in the second. And then I know like Golden State came back behind some like random white guys who play lacrosse, but this was never really a battle. This was curtains, man. Houston defends home court. And like I don't know if no Kuminga. Kuminga got ruled out with an illness. That changed everything. I don't really know what to make of this. Like, I don't know if Golden State was just like, hey, we are tired from those 2 rock fights that we had at home. Let's punt this game and then go back to Golden State and close it out there. But with how thin these margins have been in these games, both in Golden State and in Houston, I don't think Houston can win 3 straight games. Let me just throw that out there. I still think Golden State wins this series, but I wouldn't be comfortable just punting a game. And I don't know, maybe that's the championship caliber experience between Draymond, Steph, and Steve Kerr. But they clearly just rested their starters the rest of the way. They left after their first rotation in the third quarter and never came back in. But I don't know. I wouldn't love that if for Golden State. I wouldn't love that for Golden State to just punt like that. So again, Houston's not going to win 2 games in a row, but all of a sudden that does put a little bit more pressure on the Warriors. We've seen the Warriors go on the road and win a game 7 before. They did to the Sacramento Kings where they rattled off 2 straight W's, I believe. And so, again, they're not freaking out. I don't know. Talking about playoff experience and not mentioning Jimmy is criminal. I mean, yeah, he's got playoff experience. Man, it's crazy the raging erections people have for Jimmy Butler. It is the weirdest thing. For someone who hasn't won a title yet, everybody is like, there's no playoff dog quite like Jimmy Butler. Like, people lose their mind if you don't mention Jimmy Butler. Yeah, man, you got to make sure you have someone that's lost multiple finals on your team. That's the only way you get it done. And that's not even, I'm sorry, I'm not even trying to disparage Jimmy Butler, but they're just Blue Chew, Viagra, and Jimmy Butler. That's all you need to get through the day. Respect. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't love punting. I don't love punting the game there. I don't. Yeah, Stan, listen, dude, you couldn't keep your guy happy, all right? Enjoy the Andrew Wiggins era. You sound dumb. Stan, you are dumb. Let's take a mental health check break. Let's do one of those. I yelled at somebody during trivia last night, so I'm still a little on edge. I don't think I've been sleeping enough. These East Coast games, they're killing me.
We can't go down this road. We can't talk about like how you need to have had sex in order to have responsibility. I just think it changes you, I think it changes you.
All right, we're back. Yeah, that's also true. Wait, hold on though. Guys, for the record, I like Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler's really good. I think Jimmy Butler has taken underperforming or underachieving teams, or no, he's made teams overachieve is what I was trying to say. All I was saying was that the Golden State Warriors organization is probably not worried about losing this game because of their championship experience with Steph, Draymond, and Steve Kerr. And then you guys get mad that I didn't say Jimmy's name. What are we doing? The trivia story. There was this guy last night who, I don't know, he's probably, I was going to say older. He's probably my age. That was not playing trivia. And we're at the end of the night. He had just gotten there maybe like 10 minutes prior. And it is where there's like an audio round at the end. And he comes flying in. And it's like an indoor-outdoor situation. It was really beautiful. And he, like, it's a beautiful night. And he comes in and he's just like very loudly was like, "You need to turn that down. I can't hear myself think." And so, like, I was just like, "What?" And he said the same thing again, but a little bit louder. And I was like, "You came to a bar to hear yourself think? What are you talking about, man?" And then so I handed him a slip of paper, and I was like, "This is a perfect time for you to bring this up in front of everybody, because this is the part of the night where I like look for feedback from everyone. So do me a favor, you can write it down here, and then you can go flush it down the toilet." And we went back and forth like 3 or 4 times. Then I had to apologize to the people who, actually work at that location, because they're going to probably leave some sort of nasty review, and that's not their fault. That's my fault. But it's just dumb. It's just dumb people. I also I can't hear myself think. Shut the what are you talking about? What are you doing? What are you doing here? It also wasn't that loud, and the songs are playing for like 35 seconds, not even like 30 seconds. What are you mad about? All right. Anyways, that was it. That was the story. It probably wasn't as juicy as it was. Although our guy Raptor News, I know this is an OG throwback from the Top Shot days. Raptor News was in town, and he swung by. He hung out, so he saw it in person. Thought you liked hecklers? I mean, I like making fun of them. Yeah, it was fine to make fun of them. But then I feel bad. But in a comedy show, when a comedy show when there's hecklers, it's almost like an understanding that if you do something like that, you're gonna get it back. You know what I mean? At just a bar, I don't think he expected that to happen. He also probably thought I worked at the bar. But I just love the idea of like, hey, see that guy standing up there in front of everybody in a microphone, walking over? Let me go talk to him. Like, it's just dumbass. But then I proceeded to make fun of him into the microphone for like just like the next 15 minutes every time. It got to bullying by the end of it. And then I felt a little bad. Not bad enough to apologize, though. And I'm usually the first one to apologize because I am a pushover. But I didn't do that. Yeah, play Freebird. I can't even hear myself think. Who says that? Your dad? Why are you yelling at? I can't hear myself think. Fucking dork. Nez is in the chat. Dick. Nez is in the chat. All right. Guys, there's nothing to talk about from that Rockets-Warriors game. Who cares? They won by a lot. It probably won't matter. There was one other thing. Dylan Brooks confirmed he's trying to hit Steph Curry's thumb. Nobody understands. Nobody is more self-aware than Dylan Brooks. And I don't think a lot of people feel that way. He is comfortable being the dick that he is. I think like Steph, one of the more likable stars in like recent history. And Dylan is fine being like, yes, I know he has a bad thumb and I am trying to hurt that thumb. It's just incredible work by him. But yeah, again, I don't think this is going to matter. Mathology was asking about dance bags. Let's go over to Underdog here for a second before we talk about tonight's action. I'm very excited for tonight's two-man game, though. The 2 games, excuse me. Detroit Knicks is going to be fun because it could be one of 2 of the last games Tom Thibodeau coaches for the New York Knicks. We could see full-on meltdown. We also have and then we got Nuggets Clippers, which I have no idea what to make of Nuggets Clippers. But anyways, let's go back to my zeroed out balance and Underdog because we still can't play. Do something, Underdog. Do something. I'm going to show up to your offices soon, not as a threat, but to protest. All right, let's go over here. So right now we were only able to get a total of 30 best ball teams in. We got 23 into the dance, and then 7 into the little dance. And I think right now we have 13 of 23 advancing or 14 of 23 advancing. Let's blow it up a little bit more. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 of 23 advancing, and then a few little third place finishes. And part of the reason why, like, if we look at some exposure, I was pretty out on the Thunder, which I'm sure will come back and bite me in the ass. Didn't really draft too many Thunders. Also did not have what was the other one that I kind of faded? Oh, I don't think I had really any. Oh, I had some LeBron and some Luka, I guess. That's not terrible. I thought I had less than that. But the real reason is I just have a ton of Clippers and like 56% Kawhi, 43% Harden. I also was drafting a lot of Clippers with Nuggets. Which is going to, it's like both good and bad. So we had some Jokic in there, some Gordon, some Jamal. But I did have a lot of Knicks from early on, some Joshy Hart, who's actually been pretty disappointing, but hopefully will be useful next round. And then the other one is the Pacers, which I had some Pacers. And the Bucks were the other team that I think I almost full faded. Oh, no, I guess I had more Giannis than I thought, but almost full faded. So, yeah, we're in 14 out of 23 is pretty good. So we're in a good shape. But I'll be honest, guys, with Underdog Best Ball, I think like I had a 40% advance rate in 2 years ago, and then like just around like 38, something like that, just around that for last year too. I like crush in the first round. And last year I did 150 and I think I advanced like 55. The second round is where I've been getting boned a lot, or I would advance a lot of teams out of the second round. But like last year, I had so much Denver. I had incredible Denver teams stacked up. And so when they lost that game 7, I was cooked. Wait, you got 48 out of 76 so far. 48% Cade. Wow, man. That is drafting with your heart right there. I love that. Let's do the drop for you. You get a Detroit drop. You 48% Cade? Hell yeah.
Detroit basketball! Detroit basketball! You
Hell yeah. Man, I also turned you into a sicko, man. You did 76. I've broken you. I love that. Yeah, I'm pretty bummed I could only do 23 in the main one. I really am starting to go through withdrawals. It wasn't too. I'm actually glad that I'm not able to do the dailies anymore because I'm sure I'd just be burning through money. But man, I'm like starting to Jones to draft some football. I wish I had more best ball sweats. Been doing a lot of the splash sports, which BT Dubs, we got more contests running tonight. We got a $10 one and a $5 one, so come hang out. Regulator said if Murray shows up, the series will be over tonight. Yeah, I really don't know what to make of Nuggets Clippers tonight. I don't. Like, I think there is a world where the Clippers feel like they just blew this series. I know I've said sound like a broken record. When they blew game 1 and game 4, and all of a sudden you now have to win 6 games of a 7-game series by blowing 2 games. They should have already won this series. And so I don't know. Maybe they win tonight, extend it to 7, and then who knows what, and then anything could happen in a game 7. But I kind of feel like the Nuggets broke them a little bit. Although, how many times does James Harden throw two eggs? You know what I mean? Like, he usually does do that back to back, right? So maybe Harden shows up, we get a game, and then we talk ourselves back into James Harden, and then he fails again, and then Skeets will yell at us in a short. Shout out Skeets. That was a great rant by him. I don't know how many people saw that, but he was like, why are we still surprised about James Harden sucking in the playoffs? It was great. It was a really good rant. I loved it. But yeah, I don't really know what to make. I do think the Pistons are going to win tonight. Here's my take. Here's my my dumb ESPN take. I think the Pistons are either going to win a close game or lose by 25. No in between. The Knicks won't win a close game. It won't be like a 3 or 4 possession game. It's either the Pistons win or Knicks blow them out. I don't think the Knicks can win a close game tonight. I don't think they can. Regulator says Harden will not be a Clipper next season. I don't know, man. He was pretty important for them this year. He's probably going to make all NBA. James, you say what you want about his playoff stuff, but he carried that team. I mean, Kawhi was playing like every third day. Kawhi was on the Ja Morant schedule. And between him, Storm and Norman, and Zubac was awesome this year too. And Zubac has been having an incredible playoff run. Like, it probably won't get a lot of love if they get boosted, but bounced in the first round. But Zubac has been incredible. He's been incredible, and he's like held his own against the Joker, which is good to see. Okay, we talked about Dylan Brooks. When is the MVP going to be announced? That's a great question. I don't know. It's going to be soon, right? When is the NBA MVP announced? Let's see. Between April 20th. Wait, will be announced. between April 23rd and May 28th. That's crazy. They haven't announced the date yet. Well, it's not April 23rd, but it's within the next week. I'll tell you that. It's within the next week. Yeah, Dyson Daniels, congrats. The great barrier thief took it down. Most improved. Love to see that. Love to see that for our guy Dyson Daniels. Do we have all the awards but the MVP at this point? Is that the only one we're missing? Did we get Coach of the Year already? Sorry, guys, I'm not locked in. I've been staying up too late watching basketball. I'm not locked in. I'm not locked in with my research and my prep. There you go, Common Man. All right, let's remind the people to go check out the 89 Cavs. Go check out the 89 Cavs. If you haven't hung out in playback, I'm sure our guys Weisberg and Sneeps will be firing that up again here soon. Go check out the Badge Bros. I don't know what they're up to today, but I'm sure they got a stream. They're out there grinding. Go check out the Badge Bros. Maybe if you're in a state that can draft, go draft. But I don't know. I think that's it. There we go. Stark Holmes. Yeah, happy Lakers eliminated day. That is going to be a fun. Like this. Like the offseason's setting up to be kind of fun though. We've got the Lakers trying to figure out what they're having to do. We've got in this offseason, we've got the Grizzlies. What are they going to do? Giannis, where is he going to play? I think we're going to have some fun stuff. The Knicks, what are they going to do if they somehow collapse here? Regulator said Brian Windhorst says JJ Redick coached in a very immature way. That's so Reggie Miller. Yeah, I heard this was acting frankly childishly. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know, man. I like JJ. I feel like he's done a good job with what they had. Like, I think one thing that everyone needs to remind themselves of with the Luka trade, when it happened, everybody was like, yeah, it probably doesn't move the needle too much this year, but this makes Luka, like, this is a trade for the future because now you have a cornerstone who's 26 for like the next 10 years, right? And then they like won a bunch of games and started playing defense, and everybody was like, oh, maybe the Lakers are real this year. And then, they lost in a series to Minnesota where they just didn't have any answers. Their depth was just not there. So I don't like, I'm not quick to just be like, this guy sucks. Like, I thought he did a pretty good job with the tools that he had. I mean, again, and maybe he was acting like a psycho behind the scenes. That could be true. That could absolutely be true. And I know his comment, in the press conference was a little nasty, but I thought the question sucked. I thought it was a dumb question. And much like the guy from trivia, you ask a dumb question, you're going to get a dumb answer. Shut up. Like, but I don't know. Maybe they knew more stuff that was going on behind the scenes. But if you're saying like, hey man, you got to play some centers, dude. You're not going to beat Minnesota without playing centers. Well, the centers are Jackson Hayes and Alex Len. You can't do that. You can't do that. Jackson Hayes, bad on the court, bad off the court. Google it. All right, let's end it there. Jaylen Brown is now 8-0 in first round series with a win-loss record of 31-9. That's great. Jaylen Brown, pretty good. All right, let's call it there. I'm tired. I'm cranky. I need to have more coffee. More caffeine's the answer, honestly, or I should just drink a big glass of water. We'll be back. Actually, we will no NBA bit tomorrow. I forgot to say that. No NBA bit tomorrow unless something crazy happens. Tomorrow's going to be a travel day for me, so no bits and boys. I'll have some SORARE NBA content here at some point to get us ready for the weekend. We will go watch the 89 Cavs, and we'll, I don't know. I'll see you when I see you. Almost at the second round. We're doing it well.